handle that? Would you be able to handle that? And it asks that on a weekly basis, and that's why I like the show.
You know, it's funny. One interesting thing that I'll point out is I watched The Walking Dead for a couple of years. I watched from the very first episode, and then I watched it until the governor died. And the governor, for me, that was my favorite character because he showed what the patriarchy was capable of doing if it was run with an iron fist. And the governor was cast, he was characterized as a bad guy. Like, the governor is bad. He has these rules. He takes what he wants. He oppresses women and children and this and that and the other. But if you looked at the utopia that he created, it was far greater than any of the tents or the camps that anybody else in that show had established. Yet when he was killed by, I think it was Michonne, when he was killed by Michonne, people rejoiced, oh, ding dong, the governor is dead. That, to me, reeks of political correctness and social justice warriorism. Because they don't like it when a man takes control. And just like Alan Roger Curry said, the governor is a microcosm of what would really happen if just like the dystopian, post-apocalyptic world were to happen. The men would take the fuck over, okay? Men like the governor would take over, and they wouldn't be looked at as bad guys, but because it's a TV show, ding dong, the governor's dead, everybody rejoices. Well, guess what? All of the people who lived in his village were fucked as well. They just didn't realize it.
Yeah, man, it's like, and this is where I got on kind of a soapbox, and I've done this a few times on different shows. And that's what I hate about there's things I loved about the entertainment industry. Obviously, I pursued a career in the industry, but it's just, man, I have a passionate beef against the entertainment industry for everything you just said, Donovan.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they just pander so much to women to the point where you can't even have, unless you finance it yourself, of course, you can't have no objective movie that really, one movie that to me might have been an exception, Gone Girl, was a movie that blew my mind. And when I saw that movie, I was like, shit.
Yeah, that was good.
I was like, if a guy wrote this, it would have never been made.
Nope.
Because that movie, for those listeners who haven't seen that movie, please watch Gone Girl. Because without giving too many spoilers, that movie shows how women get away with murder both literally and figuratively.
Yes.
And it's an excellent film. But yeah, man, the entertainment industry, like, again, going back to...
I think Obsidian talked about it earlier.
One thing I hate, like you were talking about the governor, like, I love this character named Negan again, but what pisses me off is that the writers, because of probably, the pressure to be politically correct and not piss off the feminists, the only characters that stand up to Negan are the women, and it makes all the men look like they fucking pussies and shit.
That's right.
And I'm like, this is some bullshit.
Right, no, and good and damn well, if they actually stood up to Negan, he would, oh my God, he'd bitch slap him, tie him up, and make him a part of his, make him a concubine, make him a part of his fucking harem.
Women would get bitch slapped in real life for some of the shit they get away with saying on the show. But of course, you can't have a show where a woman gets bitch slapped because everybody writing in. And Obsidian, I wanted to tell you, give you kudos for. I was in the gym and I listened to your interview with the Vegator, and you and him made a crucial point, which is that in today's society, well, really, shit, damn, any moment in society, but especially now, being a man, even more so being a black man, man, you can't have no 9-to-5 job and be outspoken, man. You gotta be self-employed, man.
No, you cannot.
You gotta have your own independent income, 'cause man, you just can't. y'all was breaking down the truth. I was in the gym like saying amen like loud. I'm sure the other gym members looking at me, cause man, cause see when I first started, what I'm doing, I actually had a 9-to-5 job, and I never got fired for anything I said, but I got some like mild warnings and stuff. You know, different people. I was working at a university, and the different people would tell me, "Hey, Alan, the chancellor, he's not happy about what he read that you said this, or read that you said this."
Ah, please, tell him to go fuck himself.
And well, basically, I would always say so.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I'm gonna do what I do, you know.
Get out of here.
Now, I will say you could say they did get their revenge, because ultimately I didn't per se get fired as much as they just phased out my whole program. I had this mentoring program for young brothers, and they like phased it out, and so nobody ever replaced me. So that let me know it wasn't just me who got fired. They just got rid of the program. But it was a blessing in disguise, because I've been self-employed now for like 4.5 years, and I love it to death. But yeah, man, if you gotta risk somebody who can fire you, it's just like that infamous. Some of y'all might be too young, but I remember Bill Maher had this show called Politically Incorrect on ABC.
I remember that show.
If you remember that show, you remember the exchange he had with Arsenio Hall, where Bill Maher was bragging on how outspoken he was, and Arsenio checked him. He said, "No, you're not." And Bill, I can't remember all the exact words, but I'm gonna be paraphrasing. But Bill was like, yes, I am. I'm probably the most outspoken talk show host. He was like, no, you're not. Hey, you might go out the box here and there, but they keep you. ABC Disney, who's running your show, tells you what to do and what you can say. You can't say any fucking thing you want to say. And they got into debate. And sure enough, a few weeks later, after Bill Maher kept defending himself of being able to say what he could say, he suggested that 9/11 was meant to happen because the USA be fucking with all these other countries. Next thing you know, they canceled this fucking show.
Yep, there it is. See that? And anytime you're beholden to somebody else, man. Yeah.
Too. We saw it with Arsenio when he brought Farrakhan on, and not long after, he was gone.
Yeah, it shouldn't last too much longer after that. I remember that.
Now, he claims, I read an article actually where he said, because he's been asked about that, of course, a number of times, he claims that the decision had already been made before Farrakhan came on. Now, he could be telling the truth. I don't know, but it sure didn't look that way at the time.
It didn't look that way, yeah.
But, yeah, man. So anyway, I just want to give you kudos, Obsidian, for that show and what you guys were talking about. Yeah, man, you got to have your own money coming in, because like Obsidian talks about his show all the time. If he had corporate sponsors, man, if you're an outspoken brother and you running any kind of show, TV show, radio show, and you got corporate sponsors, sisters are going to contact those sponsors ASAP and get you off the fucking air and shut you the fuck up. And
that's the only way they can do it. Yeah, that's the only way they can do it, though. I mean, if they know who your sponsors are, that's the thing, man. Like, sisters aren't going to they're not going to try to combat you. And we were talking about this earlier. Obsidian said, hey, look, I'll go on their show, or she can come on my show. And we all agreed that ain't going to happen, because they don't want to debate. They don't want to hear an opposing view. So anytime they hear something that goes against the feminist or the black feminist narrative, they fight dirty. They don't fuck around like that. They'll call your sponsors and say, hey, look, you need to tune in, and the next thing you know, you're off the air. So yeah, it's impossible to have a 9 to 5 or be beholden to somebody else and say what you really think.
Yeah, you're right. Sisters, here's what I find about sisters. They don't want a true intellectual debate, but if they don't love arguments and drama and ad hominem attacks, they love that shit.
Oh yeah. And see, that was the thing. I had challenged Kristen and Karras into a debate, Alan, and I said, you're going to come on my show. I ain't going to your channel, because I know how you get down. It's just what you just got finished saying. ad hominem attack. She was like, I want you to show your face and I want you to do this and you got to pay me $500. I said, I ain't paying you shit. And you come to my show, you're going to do it. You're going to do it and like it. You're going to do it with a smile. You're going to come by yourself and I'm going to tear you limb from your whack-ass, weak-ass argument. Now let's debate.
And then bend her over the couch.
That's right. And she punked out. She
3-point stand.
Exactly. And from that point on, I refer to her now as Crystalline the Coward, Crystalline the court jester, and Crystalline the Clown. That's what she is now on.
She's never coming on
the clown, the court jester.
Oh, hell no. No, she ain't, and she knows she's not.
She's never coming on.
Yeah, man, because Obsidian,
you know what happened married, by the way?
Between Sophia A. Nelson and I remember after we had our heated exchange on my show, all these sisters called themselves unfriending my ass like I was going to be over here crying and shit. I was like, shit, get y'all the fuck off my Facebook page, shit.
One of the things that I noticed
it's y'all bitches.
One of the things that's happening in the recent past, you know, it used to be that you know, these women would swarm an individual black male, you know, on media some kind of way. But I'm starting to see black men collaborating. I mean, this very interview right now, this discussion, I didn't see this years ago. I'm seeing brothers coming together and sharing and exchanging information, and I think it's scaring a lot of people, to be honest with you.
Terrifying.
Because when it comes to black men, whether it's politics, whether it's relationships, it almost doesn't matter what the subject is. Our silence is the only thing about us that makes other people comfortable. Black men speaking out on almost any topic scares the shit out of most people.
Terrifying.
Oh, I agree with that. Especially intelligence.
I think it's men in general too. You know, look, never mind black men. If this is why the manosphere, the Negro manosphere, the black manosphere, the red pill, this is why this is dangerous to feminism, to society, to the culture, is because for the first time ever that I can think of, post serious feminism, men are getting together, and it's so funny how much progress we've made in such a relative short period. It's taken feminism 50 years to get to where it is now. It's taken us, what, a decade? And probably not even that, and men are figuring it out. And all they had to do was shut the fuck up, quit listening to women, and start listening to each other. And you know, we've created this network. We've created this subculture, and it's probably going to be mainstream in a few years. Someone told me they overheard somebody having a conversation. I think she said she was at the ice cream store or something, and some dude was sitting at the booth behind her, spitting red pill knowledge.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the red pill documentary is out, you know, and are coming out, and a lot of people are making comments about that, and there are a lot of people who are scared. They're terrified by it, and it's black manosphere, like the white manosphere, is pretty much the same. Tom Likas and these guys that Obsidian mentions all the time, he's scaring a lot of people on the other side. A lot of white ladies are up there getting upset. I was listening to Big Cal 101's channel. He had a wonderful video up where they had this one guy who was on there who had taped his ex-girlfriend, and where he trolled her for the whole day playing one-on-one videos. And this woman was up there talking about, well, you're bashing women. You're bashing us. It's all about bashing. That's bashing. That's all it's about. It sounded like a black woman. It literally sounded like a black woman saying, you're bashing us. And here's a white woman who was getting MGTOW 101 videos that he was trolling her with all day long. She was sitting there saying, this is all about bashing. You're mean and you're nasty because you're listening to these terrible videos. It was red pill knowledge talking about women, talking about their fuckery, and it was being exposed, and she was very upset about it.
This is the difference between men. This is one of the fundamental differences between males and females. I had to have a conversation with myself years ago. I had to look myself in the mirror and say, Donovan, you're a fucking pussy. The reason your marriage didn't work out is because you're a fucking pussy. You suck. You're fucking fat. You're not good with money. You're not good with women. You need to wake the fuck up and be a man. This is what I did. if somebody else had told me that, I probably would have had the same reaction. I would have got my ass off of the couch, whatever I was doing, and go do something. The difference is when women hear the truth about themselves, all they want to do is deny, defend. Well, it's not necessarily. It's like when we tell them, women are hypergamous. You guys are always trying to look for the next branch, a higher branch to swing on. You guys cheat more. You guys are whores. You guys are sluts. Feminism is wrong. It does matter how many men you have been fucked by. They never look in the mirror and say, you know what, these guys might be right. No, their first response is, no, you guys are wrong, it's women bashing. Men take that kind of information about ourselves and say, you know what, okay, there might be some truth to it, while women, when they're told the truth about themselves, they call it bashing. And this is why they are where they are. And this just goes to show us that women aren't going to correct themselves. A quality woman is not born. She's got to be made. She has to be led by a quality male. She has to be led by a man who's red pill aware. That's the only way that's going to happen. And they prove it every day by fighting with us. Well, no, it's just female. But no, bitch, we're telling the truth. You just can't handle it.
Yeah, it's funny because I was on a radio show. I got invited by a former guest. She was first a guest of mine, a woman named Veronica Anderson. And this shows, I don't want to discredit anybody who got credentials because I'm sure they worked hard to earn them. But, I don't have a PhD in, like, say, relationship psychology or that type of thing. But if I say so myself, I know my shit. So she had me on her show with 3 other very credentialed psychologists, and the subject was why women cheated. And it was 2 women and 1 man, and they were all credentialed psychologists and marriage therapists and relationship experts, and it was myself. And it was interesting what you said, Donovan, about women don't like to hear the truth, and it's because you got some of these experts out here. Do you know all 3 of these other people who were on the show were trying to present arguments that it was the man's fault when their wife or girlfriend cheats. And I was the only one on that show who said that's bullshit. I was like, women cheat just like with me. I said, if there's some good dick they want, they gonna fucking cheat. And I said, most women will marry a motherfucker that they don't even enjoy having sex with. If he got a 6, 7, 8-figure salary, they already got their alpha male dick on the side.
Alpha fuck beta bucks, man.
And they were tripping. They were like, oh, my God, Mr. Curry, I can't believe you. And anyway, Veronica, I give her prize towards the end of the show.
Listen, the reason why they lost their minds is because the jig was up. Like, oh, my God, Mr. Curry, don't call her faces.
The other guest, she said, Alan, I have to say it, all due respect, she said, you're the only one who brought the hardcore truth to this conversation. And I said, thank you. And she ended the conversation there. But yeah, man, even the dude who was on there, he was a total white knight type. He's like, yes, if a woman is married and she feels lonely within the relationship because the man is ignoring her emotional needs. I was like,
oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the hell out of here. Because guess what? The dude that's dicking her on the side couldn't give 2 shits about her emotional state. The only thing he's worried about is busting a fucking nut, and she wouldn't have it any other goddamn way if she knows it. So get the fuck out of here with that.
See, the interesting thing about it for me is...
on that note, let me jump in here real quick. Because I don't want the time to run out. On that note, talking about hardcore truths, and Alan Roger Krause, waiting for you to join the conversation because this is the hot seat. And our good friend has released yet another video entitled Men Love Women Who Don't Take Their Shit. And this comes from our good friend Darth Hideous, a.k.a. Deborah Cooper. I wanted to let you guys listen to what she has to say and get your reactions, all of you fellas. And I'm going to bring in Ezra from the NYC and bring in the caller from the 443 area code. Anybody else want to jump in, just press the number 1 on your keypad and I'll bring you in. I want to get all you guys' reactions. The Professor, are you there, Professor?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I want to get all of you brothers a reaction to Darth Hideous's video. She just released it today called Men Love Women Who Don't Take Their Shit. And I want to see what you all have to say about it. Do you agree or disagree with it? Let's listen, and then we'll come back. It's only about 13 and a half minutes long, so let's listen.
Sometimes I wonder if I am just a little bit too much, because I am a firm believer in men loving women who, I don't want to say the term dog out, but women who basically don't take any shit from them. Women who put them in check, women who tell them about themselves, and women who are more demanding. Let me give you some examples. Recently, I should not be telling you all my business, but recently, my latest honey, let me just put it that way, spent the night. So, I don't know. I mean, it's cool and everything. I know a lot of women like that, but I really like sleeping by myself. I really don't feel like waking up and, men snore and they want to put their feet on you and they fart and all that old shit. I just really don't feel like all that. But, every so often you endure it because the other person likes it. So, dude is like, wakes up in the morning, he's all happy, because I let him spend the night. And I'm glaring at him like, why are you still here? So, we already started off on the wrong foot. So he's like, oh, good morning, sweetie, babe, this whole thing just trying to be all sweetie pie, honey bunch. And I'm like, fuck you. And it just came out. I mean, I didn't plan to say it. I didn't, I wasn't like in a bad mood really. I mean, I was kind of irritated that I woke up and he was there, but it wasn't like, fatal or anything. And I just said, just fuck you. I just looked at him. I didn't smile. I didn't, nothing. And then he just busted out and started laughing. It's like, shit, what'd I do now? I've been asleep. What did I do? Did I do something in my sleep? And I said, yes, you breathe too loud. So then he started laughing some more. And he's like, you a mess. And I'm like, I know, but that's why you love me so much. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And giving me hugs and all smoochy-woochy and asking me what did I want to eat. And I'm like, I know you don't expect me to cook. And he's like, no, I'm a cook. You got what you got in the refrigerator. I'm like, shit, I don't know. What am I, psychic? Motherfucker, get up and go look. I mean, you know what I mean? What? I keep a running grocery list in my head? What the hell? So anyway, I'm just telling you this story. And he just laughed and then he cooked, and this is not no punk-ass dude, so don't even put those things there. He just treats me that way, but it's for some dudes and his job and all the other stuff that he does. He's like an asshole, but he treats me that way. And I just wanted to kind of talk about that because I think a lot of women have this mistaken opinion that they need to be like all sweetie pie and submissive and all wonderful and super loving to dudes. And I'm telling you, if you act like that, you don't never contradict them. You don't never have an opinion of your own that disagrees with them. You don't ever tell them no. Not only no, but fuck no, shit no, what the fuck I look like no. And, make demands on them to give you stuff and do stuff for you. And just tell them, you're not going to do what they want you to do. I mean, just to be a contrarian. You have to have a separate identity from the man in your life. You cannot put yourself in a position where you're doing everything he wants you to do, not saying what he doesn't want you to say, not going where he doesn't want you to go, not being the person that you want to be in order to placate him. You can't do that. They won't respect you. The relationship will go downhill, and the desire and the passion, the excitement that men look for from a woman in their life will disappear. I mean, if you guys really think about it, men are kind of boring. I mean, there's exceptional dudes that, are into a lot of different things and all that, but those are the exceptions. The majority of men, I'd say 95% of them, are kind of boring. I mean, they go to work, they come home. They have a little hobby, like maybe they like to watch sports or they actually play on a softball team or play golf or something, bowling league, something like that. And then they come home and then they garden or, tinker with shit, fix cars, I mean, whatever. I mean, they have their little interest. You know, I'm not saying that they don't do anything, but in general, men have rather rote, mundane, predictable lives. That seems to be the majority of men. So when they looking for excitement, they're looking for something different. If you're not providing it, they look for it, and it creates a situation that's kind of risky. So what you want to do is, if you're creative and fun sort, you involve him in your creative and fun activities. Bring him out of his shell. Bring him out of the normal box that he puts himself in, his little manhood box, and make him a part of your world. Whether he goes by choice or by force, it'll still be interesting for him. Because I was dating this guy, right? And it was the first time I was going to go to Hawaii. I wanted to go. And he was like, well, I don't want to go to Hawaii. And I'm like, why not? I had already got the tickets by then, because it was going to be a surprise. I got this huge bonus from my job, and I got the tickets and everything from a discount through the travel agent that I used through the job. And, it was like, just say the two people in Hawaii with airfare and everything, with the hotel, it was going to be like $500. So it wasn't like no grand theft money because of the benefits I got from the travel agent from booking her all that business. So I had the tickets, and so I'm like, yeah, we're going to go this week, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't want to go. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to see if my mother can come with me or something. So then suddenly he decides he wants to go. Of course, this motherfucker had more fun on the trip than I did. But the fact that, he was, I don't know if he was scared or he just was afraid of being outside his normal. I don't know what his problem was, to tell you the truth. I never really asked him. But it just was something new, different, and exciting, and he didn't really want to do it. He was like, not a willing participant. But I made him do it, and then he enjoyed himself, and then, after that he wanted to go back. I'm like, nah, let's go to Jamaica. So that's where we went after that. So we went where I wanted to go, and he just kind of came with me, and he always had a good time. But I was the adventurer, and he was, just a tag along. And unfortunately, ladies, that's the way it's going to be with most of your relationships. You're going to be the one who wants romance and excitement and different things and unique experiences, and he's just going to be like, well, oh no, okay, and he'll come along with you. So women, they often write me in my advice column, and they're complaining that their men don't do anything. The men are romantic. They don't plan events. They don't plan dates. And I'm just saying, if that's what you want, you plan it for yourself and then bring his monkey ass along with you. That's how you got to do it. So you don't make your world boring because his is. You bring him into your excitement. And part of that is not making sure that he understands that he's not running you. You don't have to do it in the way that I do it. Of course, one of my favorite vocabulary routines is profanity. I just love it. I don't know. I just can't get enough of it. You don't have to go there. But what you do have to do is say things to him at unexpected times. You have to be challenging. You have to talk smack to him. If he talks in conversation, you better raise your voice and talk back to that motherfucker. And don't let him, be thinking that he's running you. And that's the most important thing in a relationship, is for the woman to make sure that she makes demands, that she doesn't bow down to him, and that he respects her. And the only way that happens is if you have enough confidence to kind of go against what he's talking about. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of women don't have that confidence. They're very afraid of quote, running the guy off or scaring him off, or how those phrases go, by being contrary or not giving him what he wants. And I'm telling you this, there's two ways that can go. Number one, he asks you for some bullshit and you tell his ass, fuck no. Okay, if he is,
I wish that bitch would tell me some
he'll
fuck
still
no.
stick around. You know what I mean? He's gonna be like, oh, well, okay, and then he'll just go along with your program. If he is the kind of dude who was only out for what he could get anyway, and was gonna really try to run things and dominate on you, then he is gonna leave. Now, the thing about that's good. It's excellent that he leaves. It's best that he leaves. You want him to leave because you don't want a situation where you're going to be boxed into a relationship with a guy where you're not happy in the relationship. Nothing that you want is given to you, where everything is about him. You don't want that kind of relationship.
Wow.
There's a lot of women that have that, though, and they somehow think that makes them a good woman. You know, it makes them good. And I'm thinking, no, it doesn't. It just makes you a dumb bitch, because that's the kind of woman that a dude will readily cheat on, because he knows that no matter what he does or how he treats you, your ass is going to still be there. See, where the guys with me, they already know. You know, it's like, no, you don't give me what I want every day the way I want it. Motherfucker, I'm out. I'll be chucking up some deuces so fast you won't even know what's happening. And so they know that, and so they, you know, act accordingly. Of course, you know, we still break up, you know, but it's this kind of thing where when the breakup happens, it's not because the relationship wasn't good for me. It's because it just, you know, we just agreed that it wasn't going to work anymore, or we lost interest or whatever. So I think those are the kind of things that you need to consider. Don't be afraid to tell a man no. Don't be afraid to make demands. You know, some guy asks you, you're spending at your house, he asks you what's for breakfast. It's like, motherfucker, whatever you cook or whatever you get from takeout, I mean, don't bother me. And once you decide that, bring me some and roll over and go back to sleep. You know what I mean? They'll come up with a plan, and they will tend to value you more because you value yourself. And I think that is a very important message that women really need to get, especially black women, all up on this.
Look, man, this is
submission. I'm not submitting to nobody about nothing for no reason ever. And like I said, sometimes, you know, just because it's a sunny day or because it's Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock, I don't really need a reason. I'm going to just ask the bitch because I feel like it. But because I'm in that mood. And since I'm a moody person anyway, you know, just go.
This is why she's not married.
I don't feel like it. You talking shit, I don't feel like hearing it. You ask me to do something I don't
want to do. That's why she's single.
You want to talk about some shit I don't fucking feel like hearing. And I'm going to just tell you. You know, I don't care. So, I don't know, this is kind of a rambling video. I'm working on one, ladies, about fatherless women and the impact that has on your relationships. I'm going to try to have that up by the end of the week. It's taking me a while to deal with it because I'm interviewing some women and, you know, getting some pertinent information to share with you. So it's not a quick and easy video like most of them that I do. But that will be coming up. I'm also on deck is some red flags to watch for in the early and middle stages of dating. So I got a lot of good stuff in the works for you. It's taking me a little while to do it because, you know, I want to script it out right and make my little outline and everything. Because I don't really write the text. I just write the outline and then I just start talking. And then sometimes I don't even do that. I just start talking like right now. But hopefully that will work for you. If you have any other suggestions, feel free to use the submission form, which will take to my blog, survivingdating.com.
Oh, submission form. Okay.
An advice question or an issue that you'd like me to address there. Try not to put them on the comments page because I don't always see them. My cousin does a lot of those, and if she forgets to, you know, send it to me, then I may never see it. And so it would be better for you to send it on the either a message or to send it via the contact form, the link on Contact Us. Anyway, this is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Talk to you guys later and hope everyone had a great holiday.
Obsidian, your name's Darth.
All right, brothers. Here we go. All right,
yo, what the hell?
Hang on. Everybody be cool. I want to go to the professor first and get his reaction. Professor, you have the floor. Do you agree with Miss Darth Hideous, a.k.a. Deborah Cooper, that the way to get a man is to be an utter bitch?
Okay, I'm sorry. First, I have to say I'm still finishing this bottle of Pepto-Bismol after listening to that. Torturous. On a real note, I do have to leave in a second, so I will say this though. I'm gonna tell you why I don't have a problem with that. Women like that tend to generally attract very effeminate men, and it's ironic enough they attract men they don't respect. But at the end of the day, if you want to attract that kind of man, that's cool. The kind of brothers that I interact with are generally not attracted to those kind of women. And I don't even see those kind of partnerships even lasting long enough for there to be an argument. Masculinity and femininity are like magnets. And you'll notice even in gay relationships, you still see those dynamics play out, right? They function like magnets. So the more masculine she comes, the more feminine the dude she attracts. But at the end of the day, statistically speaking, they find themselves alone. So by all means, I applaud her to continue to enjoy the life she lives, which sounds like, by her own admission, will be functionally, for the most part, alone. But when she does have somebody, it'll be somebody she can control, and that's all well and good. Go do that. The kind of men that I generally respect, they don't really play that. So,
All right. Let me move over to Alan Roger Curry and get his sage insight. What do you make of Darth Hideous, a.k.a. Deborah Cooper's formula? Men love women who don't take their shit. What do you think of that, Alan?
Oh, dude, I'm over here in amazement of it. That shit was brilliant. It was just absolutely fucking brilliant what she did. In that clip, that was fucking brilliant. If she didn't have a guy like Obsidian on the air, oh my God, she might be on her way to becoming a millionaire. Because she sold one of the greatest fantasies that dumbass sisters are willing to listen to. She had sisters writing notes. They was like, oh shit. I mean, come on, man. Let's look at some facts here. I don't want to disparage nobody's list because my mother taught me to be better than that. But come on, we all know how Deb Cooper looks. Now, if she's talking about a motherfucker that's 93 years old, I might believe that shit really happened in real life. But
straight up,
in reality, the shit she described, that never happened. But it makes good podcast material for her demographic audience. Is she sold the fuck out of a fantasy. Because here's the facts. Have any guy on this line ever had a woman come up to them and say, damn, I just can't pull no men because men always tell me I'm too submissive? That has never been said in the history of life by any woman. Even if she was on crack cocaine, it's never been. Those words have never been uttered out of any woman's mouth. Sisters, it's like 70% of them can't find a man, and you think it's because their problem is they're too fucking submissive? Give me a fucking break. That piece contradicts reality and the reality of our own life so much that it's laughable, and that's why I say, in its own weird way, it's brilliant because for those sisters that are naive and impressionable enough to believe that fantasy-laden bullshit, then if the only thing I need her to do is do some kind of sales pitch at the end, but if she would have, I'm sure a lot of sisters, for most sisters is to be a bitch and have a man in your bed too. Shit, that's the ultimate fantasy of a lot of these sisters out here, man.
Unbelievable. Beyond it's totally incredulous. You wake up to a guy.
One more thing, and then you can go to the next guy. But I also want to co-sign with what the professor said. Now, in her partial defense, there are some men out here that are so beta, and it usually comes from they had a really super dominant mother, stepmother, aunt, grandmother, that they've been brainwashed. They get to a point where it actually turns them on for a woman to be a bitch towards them and to dominate them. And but the challenge for the woman is, and I had this guest on my show named Katarina Fang, and she broke it down. She was a woman who said she used to be very alpha, and she said she had an easy time attracting beta males with no backbone. But the reality, she said she realized, and I know this already, most women, they ain't sexually turned on by a motherfucker who ain't got no backbone. Women want to... They want a financial sub. But as I told guys when I used to do my show, no woman wants a sexual sub. No woman.
Nope.
And that's why what she described was a fucking lie. No woman wants a weak motherfucker sexually. Now, for taking advantage of them financially and for their material possessions and all related to that, yes. But sexually, fuck no.
Not a motherfucking chance.
All right. Absolutely. I know Donovan's been chomping at the bit, so come on, brother. I know you've been chomping at the bit, so let's have it.
Listen.
You were having a connection pit over there. So come on.
Oh, my God. Listen, man, when you told me the title, I already knew what this was going to be. And so she starts talking, and it was confirmation. One thing that I tell all men, if you want to know the secret of finding out the kind of man a woman really wants, ask her the kind of woman she is, and she will give you the roadmap to her panties. This is a textbook projection play by a woman. Deborah Cooper wants a man who doesn't give a fuck about her feelings. Deborah Cooper wants a man to wake up and say, bitch, fuck you. You snore too goddamn loud. We're going to Hawaii. I don't give a fuck what you say. That's the kind of man that wets Deborah Cooper's panties. And so what she's doing is she is projecting the kind of man she wants with this bullshit. She doesn't want an effeminate beta male to wake up with her every morning. She doesn't want a man who's going to cook her breakfast. She wants a man who demands things from her. She literally told us the kind of man that she wants. She said it herself. She says, you have to be demanding. Because if you don't do this, I'm out. Nothing turns a woman on more than a man who demands her to be her best. Never, ever, ever deprive the woman the privilege of working for your time and affection. And Deborah Cooper literally confirmed that to the world with this bullshit podcast. And I agree with you, Alan Roger Curry. There is absolutely no fucking way this happened. She didn't wake up talking about some fuck you. Like, are you kidding me with that shit? Like, nobody's buying that shit. So this is what I got from this Deborah Cooper. This was 1,000% projection play. All she was doing was telling us the kind of man she wants, but she can't tell us that. She can't say that out loud because now she loses her business. That's not part of the business model. Women of all races, of all ages, do this. Ask a woman what kind of woman she is, and she'll tell you exactly what kind of man she wants.
Group text from 2484.
Word.
Is Donovan there? Donovan?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you dipped out for a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I said, what Deborah Cooper did is she did what all American women do, is they project. It's all projection. Like they'll say, like you ask what kind of woman she is. She'll say, well, I'm demanding, and I expect a lot from my man, and I'm a take no prisoner. I'm aggressive. I'm competitive. No, she's not like that because we all know what women say and what women do are two different things. But when she's telling you these things, she's telling you this is what she wants in a man. And again, Deborah Cooper did exactly that. This is the kind of man she wants. So this is the kind of woman she's telling women to be. And, man, dude, I feel sorry for the women who take this chick at her word. Like, are you kidding me? And again, Alan, you said it best. No woman ever said to anyone, I just can't find a man because I am too submissive. That has never happened.
All right, let me go over to my man Ezra out of NYC. Ezra, you're on the air. You've heard the video of Dark Hideous. What do you make of her sage advice to the ladies to be an utter bitch to a man? He loves it.
What's up, Mumia and your guest? First, I'd like to state that I think women are trying to train men to be that way. Because I hear this bullshit a lot, to tell you the truth. I think there's a growing movement for. Well, I hear a lot of MGTOW guys talk about how women want men to be this way, but in fact, it's actually the opposite. But I was kind of disgusted what I just heard.
To me, it sounds
like how unattractive is that? Some bitch gonna say, "Fuck you," like for serious. And listen, had that been me, listen, I'm sorry, I'm not an advocate of domestic violence, but if I woke up and some bitch is looking at me like she is proud that she let me stay at her place and says, "Nigga, fuck you,"